The Against All Odds podcast, sponsored by Oak Forest Recovery. Welcome to the Against All Odds podcast. Today is a special episode. We're doing just Rachel and I. We're going to answer some questions
that you guys sent in.
So it'll probably be a little bit shorter, and I don't know any of the questions. It is Rachel, so we're just going to jump into this. Hopefully it's super authentic. And
yeah. Also, if you guys have any questions that we don't answer today, feel free to drop them in the comments and we'll do more episodes like this. All right, where do we start? There's some good ones on here. Okay.
We're going to say who they're from.
I don't know if people want me to say who they're from, honestly. You can also say if you want us to say your name or not. I don't want to break anyone's
I get
stuff.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first one. I'm curious to hear you guys discuss the topic of using recreationally versus being an addict. Where is the line drawn for having fun versus having a problem? Have you seen people in recovery that end up going back to drinking casually for special occasions successfully without falling back into heavy addiction? And I feel like we've probably touched on this before, but what's your
want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, this gets my head going a bunch. I love this topic, actually. I think it's such a good topic. I think, okay, there's a lot of things that are true at the same time right now. And I'll break this down as best I can. So it's like, it's true that I think a lot of people end up in rehab that are not drug addicts or alcoholics.
Yeah.
I think that's true. You know, got a DUI, been drinking heavy, maybe got a little bit out of control, has had some consequences, parents very anxious. And this is not to give a pass to people who truly are drug addicts or alcoholics, but a lot of people end up in rehab that maybe truly aren't a drug addict or alcoholic.
Just had a little, partying a little too hard or whatever.
Usually those people that are like that go to rehab, they don't fight the process. They get there, they do super well. They're like your star student in rehab. They get the sponsor, they do the steps, they have an experience. They're great. Usually the drug addict, who's truly like a drug addict or an alcoholic, shows up to rehab, fights the process. We've heard so many stories on it. You can go back through so many episodes of true addicts that we've talked to. They'll be like, I went to 15 rehabs.
Yeah.
I went to 10 rehabs. I, tried to quit 1,000 times. I lost my wife 6 times over. You know what I mean? It's like this rubber band that needs to get stretched out until it finally breaks. And the true alcoholic usually is somebody who I have found is somebody who wants to stop, tries to stop, can't stop, at a point really wants to stop, and generally always changes their mind very quickly and is like, I got this. And is constantly obsessed with beating the game. Like, I can drink and use like a normal person.
Yeah.
The normal person never seems like they're ever obsessed with beating the game.
The obsession is a huge part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like this, they just don't seem to be like, I need to beat the game. No, I can drink like a normal person. It's like, they don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I've seen those types come in, go to rehab, get sober, start drinking again. It's never a big deal. It's never made a big deal. And they never lose control. Yeah. And it's been years. I've got a story right now where I have 2 people that are best friends, same age. It's a really good test. They grew up their whole lives together. Okay. Grew up in the same area. They both had come to Oak Forest. They both had got sober. Similar life circumstances. Both worked the steps. Both sponsored a bunch of guys. Both had years of sobriety. Both decided at the same time to start drinking and using like normal people. This is years ago. One of them has been able to drink and use like a normal person since, for years. No consequences, no big upheavals in his life, makes pretty sound decisions, pays his bills, has good relationships. The other one started drinking and using, quickly went to the hard stuff, started lying about it, hiding, deceitful, ruining relationships, going through different girlfriends. He's now dead.
Yeah.
Right? So, I think that, yes, it's true. Many people go to rehab that aren't drug addicts and alcoholics and can start drinking and using at some point, and they're okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And people can go to rehab and will very often believe they are that class.
Yeah.
And they're not.
I think that's part of like the delusion and obsession that we go through. Because I know for me, I was like that a lot. You know, I had little points where I was very delusional around my alcohol. Like I was an addict, and it took me a long time to realize that I was like a full blown addict. I wasn't like teetering the edge. I wasn't partying a little bit too hard, because every single time my life ended up in shambles, and that obsession was there. Like regardless of the consequences, I would find some kind of way to like be like, okay, no, this is exactly how I can get it to work. And I think that there's a lot of people that I grew up with that partied with me in high school, or, you know, when we were young, or maybe got addicted to Coke for a little bit, or, you know, even when pills came around and, you know, the whole opiate epidemic. I know a lot of people who got like physically addicted to pills because they were just doing them because we were kids and everyone was doing them. And they went to rehab one time, never did them again, never really thought about it, and can successfully drink. But I think that like hits the nail on the head about like the obsession thing. Is like how if you are trying to convince yourself that you're not an addict to be able to drink, like if it is like this power that's pulling you and you're like, actually, no, and you're thinking about it and you're really trying to, you know, find a way that you can use successfully. Yeah. There might be a bit of an issue there.
I always like in my mind, there's always this test I kind of look at, which is like, I think of like the most normie person I know. Yeah. Which is my mom. These flies are cruising around. The most normie person I know is my mom. She is like the quintessential normie. Yeah. Okay. Like, and if my mom is told that something is wrong, like there's something wrong with her, and they were to say, hey, you need to do these things so that this problem that you have goes away. Yeah. My mom is like, oh my God, I'm going to follow the rules. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the antibiotic exactly how I'm supposed to all the way to the end. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to read the book on this. I'm going to, whatever it is, right? Like she's going to follow the instructions to a T. She's going to do it readily and happily because it's just what she's been told to do. She just follows direction, right? If my mom was told that she had a drinking problem or a drug problem and somebody were to be like, hey, you're going to go to this meeting, you're going to get a sponsor, you're going to get this book, and you're going to work these 12 steps. I know my mom. My mom would like show up to the meeting. She'd be like, hey, I need to get a sponsor. She would like get the 12 steps. She'd start diligently working. She'd get all the way through, probably really quickly, happily. You know what I mean? And her problem would be arrested, right? Right. And then I look at the drug addict or the alcoholic.
Fights the whole process.
Fights it tooth and nail every step of the way. And it's so funny because when I finally did the work, it was like not that much work. Right. It like truly was like not a big deal. Yeah. Like the amount of work to actually sit down and do.
Right. To change your whole entire life.
Is like
to like literally save your life. You know?
Not a lot. It's a very low bar. Yeah. Right. And the drug addict and the alcoholic, however, will show up to a meeting and be like, I'm different.
That's not me.
I don't need to do that.
Yeah. I don't like these people. I'm
going to just do it in my head by reading it on the wall. Yeah. Oh, I don't need to do exactly that. Don't worry. I got this handled. Right. Only it seems like that is the characteristic of a true alcoholic and a drug addict, at least as I've seen it. You know, and it's a painful process to get to the end of figuring that out.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, no, it's a really good question. And it's something, it's like not a loaded question, but it's something that I don't think has a really simple answer because everybody is so different. I think it's really, especially if you really are an addict and you're trying to find the way to like use successfully. Usually we find that out by trial and error and really fucking shit up. So, I mean,
good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck.
Okay. This is a good one for you. I don't. Okay. How does colonialism and capitalism perpetuate the stigma of addiction and recovery? Those are big words.
Whoever you are, you were just purposely fucking with us.
What is colonialism?
Colonialism?
Oh, I'm thinking of pilgrims.
I mean, probably need some help here. What is colonial? How do you define colonialism?
Yeah, Google.
Isn't that like when that's like Great Britain came here and colonized?
It's the policy or practice of acquiring full or partial political control over another country.
Yeah.
Occupying the settlers and exploiting.
Exactly. It's like what the UK did to the world, basically.
Colonialism.
They went, that's how the US was originally started, and then we broke off.
Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help. So like we don't really have colonialism.
Okay, maybe
here.
we take colonialism out of it. Okay, let me reword it. How does capitalism perpetuate the stigma of addiction and recovery? I feel like that's a bigger. I mean, especially if you look at big pharma, if we look at the medical community and
it's an interesting question for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it kind of goes towards rehab's a business, and it's become a massive business. I feel like really just over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Because of capitalism, and you get a lot of people that end up going to rehab that maybe aren't drug addicts and alcoholics.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. You know what I mean? So, you've got parents with a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear, and then you've got rehabs that need to keep clients in them, and you've got people answering phones that hear a parent's fear,
mm-hmm.
and they will affirm to the parent that, yeah, your kid sounds like they're going to die.
Yeah.
They need to get here. Right. So that's capitalism perpetuating the stigma of addiction.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I think, you got to be careful who you talk to for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Great question.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you do with your kids as a deterrent for addiction? Something your parents could have done to deter you? Wow. I can answer that one first.
Yeah.
So I don't think, me personally, my parenting style is when I look at my own addiction, I don't know if there's much my parents could have. I kind of think I was born the way that I was born, because I remember being like, just feeling whatever was missing in me for as long as I can remember until I got sober, really. So I don't know if there was much that I
feel like so much of your story is like you felt like you really couldn't talk to your parents.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. And let me compare that. So when I was the way my parents raised me, we didn't talk about a lot.
Right.
We were not a we were a close knit family in like surface level things. It was very much like, hi, how was school? How are you doing? There was love in the house, but we were not a family that talked about anything. So I definitely did not feel comfortable talking to my parents, and my parents had very high expectations for me. There was like, you had to be like the perfect child and all of these things. I parent my kids very differently. I talk to my kids probably about too much, to be honest. My oldest is a teenager now, and I talk to him like he's one of my friends. I still have the parental. Yeah. He can be scared of me at times, but I talk to him about everything. My parents never really talked to me in depth about addiction or what that looked like, or like genetically, like, hey, here's these people in our family that have gone through this. I am very open and honest, age appropriately, of course, age appropriately. Like, I haven't really talked to Silas much about my addiction yet. He's only 5, but he knows I'm sober. He knows we don't drink. It's like, he's noticed like, oh, like you don't drink alcohol, you don't drink beer. Like when we go to other places, he's noticed that already. But I am very open and honest, and I don't know, I would hope that my experience and my honesty would deter my kids from, because they know pretty much, like my oldest knows pretty much every consequence that I've had. He's known I've overdosed. He's known I've been arrested. He knows everything. And I would really hope that my experience and the shit that I went through deters him enough. But at the end of the day, what's the scariest part is, like, especially genetically, there is not really much you can do if your kid does decide to do that. Like, but the blessing is about me being in recovery is like, I let my kids know, like, hey, if there ever is a time, you can come to me, that I can kind of guide you, and I have resources that I can help you with. So yeah. What about you? I feel like,
I mean,
do you talk to your daughter a lot about?
No, we haven't really gotten to that topic, but I think it's like, the reason I asked that question, or the reason I brought that up when we were talking about it, is because I believe that the opposite of addiction is connection.
Yeah.
And so I think that, I think our parents' generation raised us not in a very connective way.
Right.
Right. It was much more of like you didn't talk about things. You got in trouble. It was like punitive.
Yeah, and because I said
things.
so, no explanations.
Yeah,
no,
there's the DARE program. Just don't do drugs, right? Like don't. It's like they might as well just said don't talk about it.
Yeah, no, just
right?
like just don't. Yeah, don't talk about it.
It's crazy, right? DARE came out and was just like, don't do drugs. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay, I guess we won't talk about it. And it's like, I think what we've really learned is, why does 12-step process work, or why does it's like it's a connective process, and if the opposite of addiction is connection, then the best way that I think we can help our the next generation or our kids is we need to be just constantly connected.
Yeah.
Not just connected in the terms of like, let me tell you about my drug addiction, but just in general across the board.
Across the board.
How do we be more connected? Because when we're more connected, there's just less of a chance of it.
Yeah.
Right. Just because I think it is the antidote regardless.
Or you can show them my spoon story video. I literally had to, I don't know if you saw the spoon story. No. It's really gross, but I used to get really fucking constipated in my opiate addiction. And there was definitely times where I had to use a spoon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just show them that video. I got I got like that. It goes viral every time I post it. And there's so many comments that like, if I would have seen this in DARE, or if I would have seen this video, that's the reality of it. I think the realities, if they actually educated kids on the realities of what addiction actually looks like not like, hey, just you could overdose and die. Here's what your life will be looking like while you're in
your
addiction.
Shit'll get stuck.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Not at all.
It's very frightening.
Okay. Let's see. Has anyone turned their back on you in recovery, and would you take the first step to let them back in? Have you had anyone turn? I don't know if anyone's really, I mean, I've had people that turn their back on me in addiction, rightfully so. And that like I've tried to make amends to, and they didn't necessarily either want an amends, or that I still haven't, certain ones just people have like wrote me off pretty much forever. But
I don't know. I've had people turn, it's just life. I think sometimes like I've had people turn their back on me. I've had somebody who was like a really good friend came into Oak Forest and, he didn't stay sober, and, he got all crazy and, did a bunch of really fucked up evil shit.
Yeah.
Was that turning his back on me? I almost feel like maybe the question is more like somebody who's like your sponsor, or somebody who's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had people do shitty things, you know what I mean? But turning their back on me, I feel like my group of sober guys, I haven't had anybody like turn their back on me.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're really blessed for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think it does matter, like picking good people to have around you.
Yeah. And I think if, I don't know exactly what this scenario is exactly talking about, but I think if you feel someone is important enough, like if maybe there hasn't been any communication in a while and that person isn't reaching out, like if it means that much to you, maybe reach out and have a conversation, Do it. Communication is key.
What was like the conversation we had with Sarah yesterday?
Yeah.
It's like, just, you're not going to know if you don't do it.
Right. Exactly.
And if you don't do it, it's just always going to stay unknown.
Yeah. Okay. What was the moment you realized, no going back, I'm done, and onward to life? What was the day that you had a moment like that?
I don't know if I've ever had like a day, because I don't think I was more.
Or like a moment, did you, when did you?
I was kind of, I guess what they say in the book, the more like the educational variety.
Yeah.
But I remember early this sobriety, I would walk a lot because I didn't have a car, and I would walk to my meeting, and then I'd walk to the gym, and then I'd walk to the coffee shop, and I would listen to music. And I remember there was one time I think I was maybe like on my 4-step, maybe like 3 weeks sober.
Yeah.
But I was like through the kick, you know what I mean? I was like feeling good. Like my endorphins were coming back. I remember I was walking. It was a long walk. Today I would be really annoyed if I had to do this walk, right? But at that time, at like 3 weeks sober, I was just like, I was feeling so good. I was just like happy to be walking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember just being like really content and like really happy. And I had like really nothing. And I was just like, man, I just want to feel this way.
Yeah.
You know, for as long as I possibly can. And that was, you know, that's a moment I reflect back on a lot.
Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help. That I was really, really free.
Yeah.
And I had nothing, you know, like had nothing and was like, this is way better, you know? So.
Yeah. I think I had a lot of moments like that, especially in early sobriety. Like this is the only time I've really had any substantial recovery, right? This round for me. And I think in early sobriety, I mean, I know I really, when my boyfriend passed away and I did not get high over it and I wasn't even 3 months sober and I felt more connected to God and to him after he passed. Like I was like, I've lost so many people before, right?
Yeah.
Every single time I was going out and getting high. That was how I dealt with everything, right? That's how when people passed away, when I was happy, when I was sad, when it was sunny out, when it wasn't sunny, you know, like whatever the case was, that was the first time in my life where something like traumatic happened and I did not even, my body did not, like my brain did not immediately go to, I'm going to get high over this. It was like, it wasn't even a fucking thought. And I think when I was going through that and I realized like I made that through that without that thought even crossing my brain, that for me was like, holy shit, like I'm really doing this. And then I've just had little moments, you know, like when you start just those early moments in sobriety with you're with your like, you know, rehab people or whatever, or your sober living friends, and you're making these relationships and you have friendships and you guys don't really have any like super duper responsibilities yet. And you're just living like a free life without drugs and having fun and that belly laughing, you know, I think all those moments for me, like in early sobriety, I got very lucky this round of sobriety where I knew like once I got into the work, I was like, this is it. Like I'm just doing this for the rest of my life. Okay. What are the first things you changed in your environment in early days of sobriety?
I mean, for me, it was everything. Yeah. There was nothing that didn't change. I mean, it was 100%, 360 degrees.
Did
everything.
You cut everyone off like immediately?
I didn't really have anybody.
Okay, you didn't have like, but what about like your drug dealers and stuff? Were they sick of you too?
Well, yeah. I mean, my drug dealer, I didn't have money. So, and I think he had like fronted me like the last couple sacks. And so I certainly wasn't gonna be able to call him unless I was like giving him money. Did
your dealers not hit you up like to let you know when they had like?
My dealer, I went to like the Paisa, right?
Oh, okay.
So like it wasn't like a homie that I knew or like these dudes didn't use drugs. Like they were just like dudes come up from South America.
But they've hit me up. They used to hit me up all the time and be like, "Yo, I got this," or like if I didn't hit them up in a couple days, like, "Yo, like." I
think maybe he did, but I mean, I don't know, dude. He, you know, it wasn't. I didn't really have that sort of. My runs were so quick.
Yeah.
And so fast and just like, I mean, it was like a few months. It was a few months and everything's
burn it
gone.
down.
Yeah. And I'm going to get sober. You know what I mean? So no, I didn't really get hit up, you know, but yeah, everything changed. I mean, everything.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I moved to Austin, so I tried to get sober and be in New York a few times. For me, a location change, like obviously wherever you go, there you are. But for me, a location change, which wasn't even a planned thing. It kind of just happened because I went to treatment and then I like was for the first time open to doing sober living and like doing the things that were suggested of me. And then I ended up staying there because of the recovery community in Austin.
Right.
I think that I mean, I didn't have anybody really anymore at
Yeah,
all.
right.
So people, places, and things
Yeah,
were all
it was easy.
gone
It
like
was
that.
easy.
Yeah, it was easy.
Yeah.
A relocation does make it easier. Not that,
For sure.
everybody doesn't have that opportunity and stuff. But for me, yeah, I changed everything pretty much immediately. Okay. Was it harder to admit to yourself or to a loved ones that you were an addict?
Yeah, I mean, I think I first went to rehab when I was 20, and I could not admit to myself that I was a drug addict.
Yeah.
I was like, I went too hard.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely drink and smoke weed again one day. There was no way I was going to admit that I was a drug addict. So, I remember going to my first meetings ever. Like, I refused to identify as an alcoholic. I would just say my name. But then after my first relapse, after I had like 4 years and went out, was shooting speedballs and came within like inches of my life.
Yeah.
I came in and I was like, I'm a drug addict. I'm like, it's certified. Like, I'm a drug
figured
addict.
it out.
I know it. I got it. I'm happy. I'm a drug addict. Yeah, I think it's just a process. For me, it was a process.
Yeah. I think I always knew, I don't think I really didn't think I was an addict. I just thought that I could control it. I was like, I kind of knew from early, I think as soon as I got addicted to like ecstasy when I was even before opiates or anything, I was like, I could tell that the way that I reacted to things
There's
compared to
different.
I was like, I was on one. So I think I knew that wasn't hard to admit to myself. I was very delusional around it and I really thought I could control it. That was my issue. But I was a closet addict. And so my life was functional for a while and I lived this complete lie. So for me, I think it was like, that was a huge obstacle. Even when I overdosed on fentanyl, when it first started coming around, when I woke up and I was in the hospital and my parents were asking me what I took, I was like, oh, I just took like an old Xanax, a small old Xanax. I don't know what happened. I could not admit to other people, like to, especially my parents and like my family and people that just really probably knew to some extent at that point. But for me, I was just in a lot of shame because I was living this double life and there were so many people that didn't know. So I think for me, I admitted it to myself very early on. So that wasn't the issue, but admitting it and humbling myself to admit it to like everyone around me, that was the harder part, I think. What about ibogaine and microdosing for addiction recovery? What do you think?
I just don't know enough, but I have an anecdotal story that's fresh. So we just had a client 3-4 months ago, opiate addict, was using fentanyl and opiates nonstop, continuously for about 12 years.
Yeah.
Right. So super scared to get sober because he was like horrified at the kick.
Yeah.
Right. So he fell into, the ibogaine thing. Right. Whatever. Saw it on Instagram, painless, whatever, detox. Right. So this dude, I'm like, look, dude, there's better places. Like, I'm pretty sure, medical science has got a really good way to do this.
Yeah.
We know some places in Texas. We know some places all over, man. I can get you really dialed in. They're good. We've had hundreds of people go. It works.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, man, I want to go do ibogaine because, he thought it was like going to be a shortcut, right?
Which I don't think ibogaine, I think it's pretty intense.
I mean, a lot of people think it is a shortcut, though, right?
Right.
A lot of people think that it's
well,
like
that
this.
it cures your brain, right? That's what's around it, right? Is that you can go into it and then address whatever trauma is making you use.
That I'm not going to be able to feel, I won't feel the kick.
Yeah.
But I'm going to like take a bunch of ibogaine and then I'm going to wake up 24, 48 hours later and it's cleared it from my system and I'm good.
Okay.
And that was his thought.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, look, obviously I can't talk you out of this. So I'll support you in it, right? I want to see what goes on, right? So he goes there. They put him on morphine.
Oh.
Okay. So it was down in Mexico.
Yeah.
He's on morphine, which I thought was really interesting because you can't go straight into ibogaine from fentanyl.
Oh.
You actually have
to like detox, kind of
get off
wean
fentanyl,
down.
and you have to be on one of the more standard opiates.
Oh.
Right. So if you're on fentanyl, you can't just go straight to ibogaine if you go to an Ibogaine facility,
Okay.
they'll actually put you on morphine for like a week or two
Oh, wow.
until all the fentanyl's out of your system.
Yeah.
Then
Which still probably sucks because if you're doing a
Yeah.
lot of fentanyl and then they just put
going
you on this.
morphine. So it is going to be kind of that little rocky experience. So he
Ooh.
went through that.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable. He
Yeah.
wanted to run. Then he did the Ibogaine. After the Ibogaine, he had like another 1 or 2 days there. And then he came into us, apparently fully detoxed.
Yeah.
But when he arrived, he was fully in a kick
Oh, no.
and was trying to fucking muscle his way through it. He ended up having to go to a standard detox.
Yeah. And detox
finish
anyways. Oh, fuck.
Actually detoxing.
Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help. So in my practical experience of what I've seen so far is it's not a shortcut. It doesn't work. It's not just this foolproof, go there, fix your problem.
Yeah.
And in this particular case, he was fully still on detox
Oh,
and he
that
still needed to go to the standard. And afterwards was like, I should have just listened and I should have just done the
Everyone has
normal
to have
route.
their journey though,
Yeah.
and now he exhausted that option. I
For
don't
sure.
I don't think I know enough about Ibogaine. I always thought it was kind of like a hallucinogenic, right? And
It
what
is.
I've heard that they have
Plant
Ibogaine
medicine.
ceremonies where they literally like guide you. I remember watching a documentary about it once, and my mom was considering it when at the end of my addiction before I went to my last treatment center, and I was like, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go trip in the fucking forest or whatever. Yeah, that
For
sign
sure.
me up. But I don't think. I mean, maybe I've never spoken to anyone that it has worked for. I do know a couple people that have done it and then have gone right back into their addictions. I think it's with everything else. Like if you're not at the point where you're going to be willing to do
Ready to
anything different
change.
besides that, I don't know if it works. And then when it comes to microdosing, I am a big believer in plant medicine for those that it works for. I know I have a lot of friends that have done, like shroom microdosing to deal with trauma or doing these things, and they've had great experiences. I also know people that have done that and then the feeling of microdosing turned into not microdosing, and then they've relapsed.
Gone off the rails. Yeah.
So I think that for me personally, I do think that certain things can work for certain people. I think everybody is different. And I always tell people to question the actual reason why they're doing things, right? Like if someone's completely fine and they're like, I'm just going to go get on some ketamine shots or, and they're not dealing with anything or they haven't exhausted other options before trying something like that. It's usually like, what are your motives around doing it? So
For sure.
yeah. Do you feel gambling addiction needs to be discussed more as it becomes more mainstream?
Yeah. I know some people that are some fucking
Dude, gambling
gnarly
addiction
gamblers.
is, yeah.
It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Have you ever experienced gambling addiction yourself? Like no.
I've never gambled. Gambling's not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, you
like
think
it.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so
no, but I've been
have,
to Vegas. I've played blackjack.
Oh, okay.
I've
So you don't
I don't like it.
Have you won though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then you don't have the. I always thought I did not enjoy gambling at all, and I didn't fucking understand it. I had gone to like a few casinos in like Pennsylvania back in the day, or like Connecticut and New York, and I only did like the slot machines and whatever. And then I went on a trip to see one of my best friends in recovery and his girlfriend, and he lives in. Not Nevada. He lives in Nebraska. And we went to the casino like there, and he taught me how to play craps on the little craps machine. And I won like $600 in like a fucking minute. Right. And so I'm sitting there, and once he gave me this formula on how to do it, dude, I had to rip myself away. Like they had to literally like almost like carry me because I kept going up, and then I won, and I walked out with money. And I think that that's where for me, that dopamine rush of like you getting that money, and then I would lose a little bit and I'm like, I have to get it back. Like I have to get it back. I know I can get more. And it's like, you have $2,000 right now that you have just made in 5 minutes, cash out. And and that would be like the smart thing. That would be the smart thing to do. But so I thought that, thank God they don't have casinos in Texas, to be honest, because I then, so I was like, okay, like I may have a little issue. Gambling's probably not good for me to be around. And then I got invited to go on a podcast and they put me up at a hotel that had a casino in it. And I gambled a little bit with the people, and look, you know what, it's fine. I gambled a little bit, like when everyone was there, we went to dinner and we were just like, oh, like, you know, a little whatever. And when I lost $200 and it was like gone like this, right? And they're like, okay, like it's time to go, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I go up to my room, I'm like trying to go to sleep, and I could not stop
thinking about the $200.
I could not stop thinking. I could not stop thinking about it. So I got up and I went downstairs. And mind you, I'm supposed to film this podcast at 9 a.m. the next morning. I stayed up until 4 a.m.
Shut the fuck up.
4 a.m. at the craps table. There was people that thought my followers were coming up to me, like, and I'm like fucking locked in, and I'm like, don't fuck around. And I really realized, like, when I left, like I finally made myself cash out because the time was, I was like, I'm going to do an all-nighter and I'm not even going to be able to be a human like at all. So thank God, like something in me, I was able to cash out and I was like, okay, this is, I cannot gamble.
Wow.
But the
but
power,
it sucks people in like that.
Oh no, dude, I'm sitting there
that.
like teeth clenched, and the dopamine that it was really powerful. And I should have known that first time at the casino, but like now I just know that I can't really be near
don't
a
do
casino.
It.
Yeah, no,
just don't do it.
no. And the most devastating part is both of these times I left with money, and that's good, but it's also not fucking good because I don't like losing money. So I feel like if I lost it, my brain would have a little bit easier time being like, okay, maybe not. Maybe let's not do this. But yeah, gambling is really, really serious. And I can see, I didn't understand until I kind of felt that power myself, that like how
people lose everything. People lose
everything and more. And like loan sharks and
majorly in debt.
Oh man, dude. I think gambling should be absolutely talked about way more, especially with, my brother works for FanDuel. You know, so and he doesn't have the addict genes. Thank God, praise the Lord. But it's very, you can do everything right from your phone these days. Thankfully, I'm not a phone gambler. I just like a craps table. But all right. Oh, maybe you'll know this. I don't know this one. Does smoking weed kill your gains in the gym? Does anybody know? Do you know?
I have no idea.
You're like, I'm a speedballer.
I have no idea.
Do you guys know? No.
I don't think it kills your gains. I mean, I've been working out a long time. It's like just calories in, calories out, and like work hard, right? So, if you smoke weed and you're lazy, that could kill your gains. Yeah, because if it changes your habits.
Yeah. Okay. Most unhinged drug-fueled moment.
What? Drug-fueled?
Yeah.
Those some dark moments, man. I don't know. Most unhinged though. Okay, so the most unhinged. It's probably a good story. First time I took mushrooms. I took a lot of mushrooms.
The first time, out of the gate, you were like, "We're gonna go."
Yeah, hard. I got my parents were gone. They were like in China.
Are you by yourself? Or are you with friends?
No, I had a group of friends. Okay. We had one friend who's supposed to watch, you know what I mean? Make sure like we don't die.
Yeah.
And we all take a lot of mushrooms, like a fucking lot. And we were like, okay, we're going to watch Wizard of Oz with Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon playing, because it's supposed to like match up perfectly.
Okay.
If you start them both at the same time. So Wizard of Oz, no volume. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, you hit start like the same time. And there was a certain point where you hit, right? And so we're like watching, we're going to the trip, and dude, we're tripping hard. Like like the walls are coming out. Yeah. I'm dying laughing. You know what I mean? Tears, like it hurts. Like I'm laughing so hard. My buddy was watching us, and we're at my house, my parents' house, but they're gone. And my buddy who's watching us has the same name, RJ. Okay.
Yeah.
And RJ is sober. And once he sees that we're all like peaked, invites everybody over for a house party.
Okay? No.
And I am tripping balls. Okay. And I'm looking up and there are people everywhere.
Dude.
And they're like people I recognize.
Yeah.
Because they're like everyone from my high school. But I'm thinking I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, you think they're not even there? You think they're like seeing them? I can't
tell what is real or not, right? And my buddy RJ, a dog sitter, showed up to feed the dog. Who was tired, and he's in the backyard talking to the dog sitter, saying that he's me, right? But his name actually is RJ. And dude, I lose grip with reality. Okay. I fucking lose it, dude.
Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help. I run up to my room and I get to my room and I open the door and there's a bunch of people in my room smoking out of my bong on my computer. And they're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Oh no.
And I'm like, this isn't even my house. I'm not even RJ. And I like trip. So I go to the kitchen and I grab 2 butcher knives and I start screaming at everyone to get out of the house. Major party foul. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, people are trying to restrain me. I've got knives that are like fucking seem like
okay, not for
long.
nothing. I feel like this is evil RJ's fault. I don't even feel like it was your fault because why the fuck would you do that? He fucked with me, dude. Why would you do that?
He did me real dirty. And then they threw me in a car and they played that. This was like that time when, do you remember that song, Shake Your Laffy Taffy?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Boom, boom.
Yes.
Boom, boom,
Shake Your
boom.
Laffy Taffy. Yeah. Okay, so I'm in this car and that song is on. And they were hotboxing this dude's truck. And so the windows were all fogged. And I'm like touching the windows and it looked like Laffy Taffy, like moving on the fucking windows. And they drove me down to the beach in Malibu and just put me on the sand. And we're like, we're just going to keep you down here, dude.
They didn't leave you alone, did they?
Like they stayed with me.
Yeah, they were, but like,
I mean?
this is your chill spot, zen out.
While like the house party just continued at my house.
Yeah.
And they're like, we need to just extract him. And just, so anyways, that was a very unhinged moment.
I feel like I have
I'm scarred from it. I'm like,
dude, that's fucking wild. Are you still friends with that RJ today?
Yeah, like we're friends on Facebook.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, we check in every once in a while.
Yeah.
He's got like a family and kids and you know what I mean? He's normal dude.
Sheesh. Okay. I don't know. Drug fueled unhinged story. I feel like I'll never top getting addicted to crack from trying to detox from heroin.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of I similar when I took way too much acid at Base Atlantic in Atlantic City is a Base Nectar, like, big fucking huge show. And my friend had a dropper of, LSD, like the dropper, and you're only supposed to put like, one or two drops or whatever, but it's during the show. And mind you, I'm already tripping. I'm already tripping.
And you dumped it.
And and I go to and I'm fucked up already, but I was like, oh, so not enough, like I really want to be in it. And so I went and I squeezed it and it was before I knew. It was way my mouth was filled, probably most of the bottle.
Oh my God.
And within, I don't remember, I got so fucked up, but so in the next hour, the show was over. And mind you, this is a show and everything's dark. And then the lights turned on, dude. And when the lights turn on at somewhere, in the club,
scary,
but this is
dude.
even worse because this is a festival where people are just fucking weird. It is there's a lot of wooks. There's a lot of heady, weird shit going on already. And then when you're all tripping as well, and the lights came on and me and my best friend, everyone looked like animals, like jungle animals. Like we were in almost like Mean Girls type. I don't know if you've seen Mean Girls, but the all the students turn into, it was like that. And everyone, and we're literally what the fuck, losing our minds. Is this fucking real? What is going on? And I think I pretty much blacked out right after that because then I was so... I was probably the whole entire, I think thank God that was like the first night. And so by the time I left, I was not normal. I think I probably wasn't normal for a while after that, but that was fucking intense. That was
I can't imagine, dude.
And I didn't mean to. I have a lot of unhinged stories, but
that is terrifying.
Okay. It is. Do we have time for one more, you think?
Yeah.
Or okay. Well, this is a good one to address. Okay, so someone asked, is Hunter coming back? I love you and RJ. I was just genuinely curious. Do you want to handle?
Yeah, no, I don't think he's coming back. Got a lot of love for Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's on to new ventures, and we wish him the best, and we love him very much.
Yeah, I think he's doing great with Jessica. I think he lives in Colorado now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we got a lot of love, and Hunter's been a part of Oak Forest for many, many years. So we've helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think we've got, countless people that are sober today that have many years of sobriety that have come from the combination of that. So yeah, lots of love.
So I think that's it. Jenna asked 100 men versus one gorilla.
Dude, it's...
Dude, have you seen a gorilla in real life?
Listen, I understand, like I feel like I've heard both points, right?
Yeah.
In actuality, if there was 100 dudes and one gorilla, that gorilla is going to fuck up like 5 dudes, and there's no way the next dude's going to fucking be ready to take them on. You know what I mean? You're going to watch a few dudes just get ripped into pieces, and you're going to be like, yeah, I'm out.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
A gorilla, they're...
How are you going to organize 100 dudes to all attack at the same time to fucking fuck this gorilla up?
Exactly.
Like, it's just not going to, unless you had 100.
Unless there's some plan where you're going to create something, but one-on-one, 1v1 with nothing else, that's not happening.
What he was like, Hermosi said, he was like, no, like men would win because we're smart and we would craft a way to.
Yeah, but I feel like that doesn't count.
And I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah,
so
that's
you're saying
cheating.
We get to use like tools and shit like that? Or is it like straight bare knuckle, like in a cage, 100
That's
V1?
what I'm thinking. Whenever I read that, I'm like, that's what I think. I'm like, it's just nothing else.
You just can't get 100 men to all jump at the same time.
Yeah.
So you might get 15 to jump at the same time.
Yeah, and a gorilla will fuck you up.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Have you seen a gorilla? Like, they're really
superior.
Yeah. And that's it. I think that's all the questions.
All right.
Yeah. I think we went for like 40 minutes.
That's good. I like that.
All right.
Send some more questions.
Send some more questions in. Whatever you want. Whatever
I really
you want.
enjoy answering the questions. The questions, I think this is actually one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Because I think it allows you and I to talk and give our opinion. We haven't done one of
these in a while.
Yeah. And I think that when we bring guests on, really our aim is to like highlight
Showcase them, right.
Get their story out there, be non-biased, you know what I mean? And really allow the different stories of recovery or journey or like, surmounting odds to, stand for themselves and for you guys, the audience, to make your own opinion on those stories and those journeys and take what you like and leave the rest. And for us to just really kind of be like, showcase that. And hopefully we do a good job at, asking guests questions to keep the stories linear and on track and so that they make sense so that you guys are getting some value from it. But I love these questions because I think it allows you and I to, kind of show our personality and the things that we believe in. Yeah. So you guys let us know if you like these episodes too and send some questions in and topics and whatever you want us to touch on and we will. Rad. That's a wrap. Adios.